Lona wants a distraction, and apparently getting Saltspire drunk on brandy and setting him loose in the marketplace just ain't gonna cut it. So we're heading up to the Temple of Sigmar to set the bells ringing. Of course, there's every chance the Skaven have got there first, so I'm still hoping someone wants to go with the brandy plan. Yeah, we'll talk to Carillion. She might be up for it. Apparently, Alicia's sneaking around looking for the Skittergate, which suits me fine, because it means she's not looking for me. Only she needs a distraction to get the job done. I told Lona the old biddy's quite distracting enough, but don't think he heard me. So, the rest of us are off to ring the bells in the Temple of Sigmar. Well, Helmgart's seen better days, but at least the Shallian Hospice is a safe haven for the sick. At least it was. Now there are folk disappearing right out of their beds, and that's just impolite. Lona, being a man of good sense, reckons we should take a little walk and see if we can find someone to discourage. Seems like a plan. There's trouble brewing in the Shallian Hospice, and I'm not talking about that vile swamp nettle beer the Sister Superior insists is a marvellous curative. Has the smell of chaos magic about it, according to Alicia, and she's not talking about the swamp nettle beer either. Well, turns out the Rotblood's bile trolls ain't nothing natural but some kind of sorcerous perversion. Yeah, I think it was the word perversion that got Saltspire interested, because now we're off to the mines to see if we can put an end to the business. I bloody hate trolls. They smell worse than Bardin and die twice as hard. Trolls! I mean, there was this one village out in Ostland where everyone looked a bit warty, but that was the plague. I think. Never did find out who burnt it down. That aside, seems the Rotbloods are taking a bunch of your communal garden trolls and twisting them something rotten. And that ain't good for the Reichland, so we're off to the mines to put a stop to it. There's a sorcerer causing trouble down in Helmgart. Can't remember his name. I'm pretty sure Lona makes these things up anyway. Whatever the bugger calls himself, apparently he's whipping up a toxic mist to drown the whole city. Which means me and mine get to play hide the pointy implement with his rotten hide until he takes no for an answer. Well, if things weren't already bad enough in Elmgart, there's a sorcerer conjuring, and I quote, a mist so poisonous it'll make your blood rot in your veins. So, naturally, Lona's sending us right into the thick of it. He's a good sort, but would it kill him to get out in the field just once in a while? Right, better get this done. Have to set an example for the others, don't I? For the last couple of days, Alicia's been moaning that the Bridge of Shadows ain't working right. Luckily for the rest of us, she does have a good pair of lungs on her. She's narrowed down the source of the disruption to an old elven temple. Probably dangerous, might get killed. That's better than sticking around here when Alicia's in a mood. Alicia's getting interference in the winds of magic, whatever that means, and says it's centred on the temple of Athel Yen Louis, whatever that is. Bound to be the Rotbloods, leastways I hope so. If it's a mob of elven mages all off their heads on mushroom wine, then I'll leave Carillion to it. One angry elf per Kruber, that's the strict limit. What is it with Ratmen and bells anyway? They've only got to raise one up in Elmgart, so guess what I'm doing tonight? That's right. Finding a way to wreck the bloody thing before it goes and makes matters worse. I'll have help, of course. Yeah, the Uber's Reich 5 rides again. Well, walks. Doesn't sound as good though, does it? I've had better days. Lona's making jokes about pumpkins, and the Skaven have rigged one of their cursed bells up in the centre of Elmgart. Yeah, you'll have to go. And we're the fellas to get the job done. But my ears were ringing for weeks after the last one. Well, at least I won't be able to hear Lona's gourd-based obsessions for a while. Saltspire doesn't trust Alicia's portals, but I bloody love them. It'd take days to get up to Fort Braxenbrooker by cart, and the bloody fortress would have fallen by then. This way, we should get there before that happens, assuming we can find this back way in that Lona's so keen on. After that, we'll see. I do hope it involves killing. Yeah, I'm good at that. Fort Braxenbrooker's in trouble. Of course. It's always in trouble, what with its castellan being drunk half the time and asleep at the other half. But now they've got a pact swarm problem as well. If the fortress folds, that'll be it for half of the Reichland. And would you believe it's the half I actually like? Can't have that. Well, off we go again, this time down into the caves of Kerak Knoll to give a Ratman warlord a fatal kicking. Who says nice things don't happen to nice people? Hasn't been a dwarf down there for ages, worse luck, and the halls are infested with Skaven. Still, it'll be nice to be going after the boss for a change. Officers are all the same, pointy ears and twitching tails all know. Yeah, it's a good life if you don't weaken. Today it seems I'm an assassin. Won't be the first time and probably not the last. The target? The Skaven warlord camped down in Kerak Knoll. We're to sneak in, give him a Tylian handshake and sneak back out again. Oh, Lona's promised payments in pumpkins again. That man's got a thing about pumpkins, you know, it ain't healthy. Plenty of good farmland around here. Problem is, the Rotbloods know it too. They've got raiding parties out, snatching whatever grain they can lay their filthy hands on, and plenty of farmers too. Oh, can't be a chaos-worshipping scum without a good ritual, can you? Well, we're going to get the poor buggers back, whatever it takes. We've got Rotbloods pillaging the farms. Worse than that, the useless bloody civvies refused to scarper at the first smoke column over their fields and got nabbed. I wouldn't want their life expectancy right now, even with the bloody Ubersreich 5 coming to the rescue. Which of course we bloody are. That's the bloody job. Rotbloods have sacked Usingen and turned the Baron's Manor into a storehouse. Now, you know how an army marches on its stomach? Well, those that don't march on rot-gut brandy and soured ale, leastways. Well, it's true of the Northlanders as well. So we're gonna blow up the manor, supplies and all. Fun times. Well, looks like Usingen's had it. The town's proper ruined. But we've still got a chance to even the score. Them Rotbloods have been filling the Baron's Manor with all the grain they can steal, which is a lot. So we're gonna blow the bloody thing to pieces. Now, I won't bring back the dead, but, well, no good ever comes from doing that anyhow, does it? Kruber's rule number 1 for a happy life. Don't go messing with ghastly ancient monoliths. Seems the Rotbloods haven't got a message as they're digging one out of the swamp as we speak. Guess who's drawn the task of getting the bloody thing reburied? Oh, I get all the nice jobs. Still, at least it'll get me away from Alicia. The woman keeps giving me funny looks. Alicia reckons the Rotbloods are digging some kind of ancient monolith out of the swamp. Leave them to it, says I, but Lona and Saltspire do so enjoy making things difficult for the rest of us. So we're off to get the bloody thing reburied. Yeah? It's mud, death and rats for lucky old Kruber. Oh, and wet feet too, I shouldn't wonder. Still, can't complain. Well, apparently we've drawn a bit too much attention. There's a Rotblood champion camped out in the marshes, set on finding the keep and burying us all beneath it. Can't say I'm fond of that idea myself, nor are the others. So, this Birdvar rib spreader's about to have a very bad day. Maybe even the worst, if Bardin starts singing at him. Birdvar rib spreader. Sounds like a nice lad, if a bit lacking in the social graces. Then again, what do you expect of a Rotblood champion? He and his mates are camped out in the marshes. Yeah, more bloody marshes, I ask you. And we're to pay him a bit of a visit and ask him to pack in his nonsense. Well, I say ask. But as we've established, social graces don't go far with this sort. Right, this could be a ticklish one. No two ways about it, that Skittergate's got to go down. And there's no one else to do the job. Problem is, we can't do it from the Helmgart side. So, we'll have to travel to the frozen north and give it a thumping from that end too. Lona reckons it'll work, but, well, you'll notice he's staying home for this one. Lona reckons the Skittergate's as unguarded as it's gonna get, so guess where poor bloody Kruber and his merry maniacs are off to next. Gotta be honest, I ain't looking forward to this one. Ain't enough to wreck it from this end, you see. We've got to ride the bloody contraption to the frozen bloody north and put the bloody boot in from there. I need a drink.